Yeah, I think they're just a solid team. They have a lot of different strategies. They execute them well. I'm a bit nervous for the same reasons that Cap is. I think Batrider looks really scary to me in the laning stage, and then I'm scared that Timbersaw is like pretty much has all the weight on his shoulders to make space for his other cores, and it's not like an unkillable Timbersaw game. So even though I wouldn't have really envisioned them picking Terrorblade into Wyvern Timbersaw, I can see that OG probably believes that their 4 heroes can make a lot of stuff happen on the map.
Yep.
While on the other hand, I don't know if Viking GG can do the same. But I'm looking forward to seeing why they picked this last pick Mevo with the Lycan.
And interestingly, we see Sumail going mid, not so much because of him going mid, but the fact he's on the Terrorblade. Do you agree with this decision, dodging the Timbersaw matchup?
Yeah, I think the Timbersaw matchup's just really big reason why I was surprised they picked Terrorblade. And if you're going to dodge it in the laning stage, I think that's fine. I don't think it's something they were 100% going to do, but the second they pick Meepo, you're like, okay, we'll just trade free farm on our mid lane cores. The only issue is that Meepo is much faster paced than Terrorblade, so you're going to see that farm from Meepo translate into action much earlier on.
As far as the side lanes go, somebody has to lane against Batrider, which feels like, you know, you're the unlucky loser, and it's Toby on the Timbersaw, which I guess is what Viking GG wanted. They probably did not want their Lycan being pressured in his laning stage.
Lycan versus Batrider is absolutely unlaneable. So I think Timber, at least you have Timber Chain, and you function better like in this solo role than you do as Lycan. But by no means is this good.
Yeah, I'm watching Toby struggle already. He missed a ranged last hit with the Timber Chain, and Seb got the deny, and Seb's just bullying him with the napalm stacks to start this lane off. Gotta imagine Toby's gonna want an early stick back at top 33. He's playing currently into a tri-lane, so Viking GG looking to secure Shad's game. He's got the Headdress, Celery's got the Bassi, and Aramis has the Buckler, the triple aura lane. They've got it. They've achieved Exodia.
Is this like the spirit equivalent of auras?
I believe so. I mean, as far as starting items goes, this is how do you beat this tri-lane when they've got every single aura?
It's true. Thinking. Can't really come up with anything thus far. I think this is what you have to do against Lycan, is force him into this situation, but then at the same time, we've seen Shad have these like horrible lanes, and it still looks to be just a completely broken hero in the hands of Viking GG, so
Oh, Saxamid's going to snipe a courier, it looks like.
Free money.
Committed the dive for it and everything, but that's going to prevent Meepo from bringing out additional Wraith Bands. Not the end of the world. Boom doesn't need any regen or anything, and that courier does respawn pretty fast. But First Blood top lane, the trial lane comes into play where they hit level 2 on the Wyvern, and instantly they find a kill on the Mars.
He went this Orb of Venom. I think he was not under the impression there was going to be an aggro tri-lane here, because Orb of Venom against 3 heroes is pretty underwhelming. It's more about bullying that one hero. And starting items like that can have a pretty massive impact, because at this stage of the game, you only have about 1,000 net worth.
And Sax has dive, so he can't really fight tri-lane versus tri-lane without Fire Spirits. He got the dive just for a courier snipe, so...
No-Tail doing a good job of denying that pull. I think if they get this pull off on Viking GG, the lane's so far back, especially with all the reasons you just said that they can't fight them. The only way to alleviate the problem of not being able to fight them in lane is to have it near your tower. So the good thing they got that done, but at the same time, the one bright side here that I would not have expected is if you look at that mid lane CS, 19-10 to the 9-2 of Meepo.
Holy cow, Sumail, what a beast.
This is on ping, too. That's pretty impressive. Terrorblade is one of the most straightforward CSing heroes, so I'm pretty sure they went back to the drawing board after his like Invoker performances yesterday. It is something they have to account for, and here it looks like just picking a hero with a good attack animation and really high damage has worked out for them so far.
Had to throw the illusions in there, and and as long as, until Meepo gets some levels in the double Meepo, he's not really contesting the lanes, we're seeing, but contesting the lane is Viking GG up top. 33, once again, getting bullied back. He's out of health regen. They have got the Headdress on No-Tail. And Sax is just off stacking camps. He's got a Headdress himself. So trialing for OG with this double Headdress is not really an effective play, but stacking sure as hell is an efficient one.
They'll almost certainly be soaking those levels whenever, I believe, probably the Batrider takes the stack.
Yeah.
There's a chance they just leave him to his device's bottom and 3-man clear the stack, but at some point that is the only way of recovery for these supports. And whenever your lane's the way it is, you just got to get creative.
Toby taking a bit of damage down bottom, but Seb is going to be careful. He's fairly low, but he is bottling up, and the tower aggro being taken by the creep, so Toby could be in some trouble here. Seb gets hit by another whirling death. Toby's going near them, and he took the tower aggro. Luckily, the timber chain doesn't latch on, and Seb dies for the kill. He'll be happy with the result there.
That could have been a disaster. Oh, I really need to understand the kill score or kill gold formula. Why does he get 200 for Timbersaw, but Timbersaw got 140 for him? Especially after he killed him, so one day I'll understand.
I mean, isn't there something like proximity gold? Maybe he doesn't get it since he's dead. I have no idea. Is that a mechanic? They change that so often.
Yeah,
that
I just don't know if that mechanic is actually put into that value. I know that does exist, but that's a good point. I'm not sure. Please.
Does the proximity gold affect you if you're the one getting the kill even though?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would perhaps explain it?
Yeah. That's better than any theory I could come up with, so.
It's still just a theory, let me tell you that. I'm as befuddled as you are, Brian. But Viking GG, how's this meepo panning out for you so far? Are you doubtful about its ability to take over this game, or do you think it's in an okay position?
It's just going to boil down to if the game goes late enough, Terrorblade is really strong. Terrorblade's only weak against Timber super early, and like a kill like this even can tilt the tides of the game so drastically. That was a huge rotation from No Tail. So casual, hardly anything expended. Gives a tip to Sumail to say, hey, buddy, carry me.
Like you say, that was the most straightforward gank ever. TP into stun plus wave while TB just pops his meta. Nothing much to it. You mentioned how Sumail's laning stage is straightforward. He just right-clicks the creeps. Getting kills is exactly the same. You just right-click the heroes.
The only concern I had with the pick was he's against Timbersaw in the laning stage, and he's just not against Timbersaw. As we see a hasted Batrider, Firefly up very soon. Boom might be dying.
A second time back-to-back?
I think they're going to give him some time to come back to the lane. So either he's just TPing top on Bat, so he's looking to make that be the place.
He really wants to use his haste.
It's just a free kill if you lasso anybody with a haste at this stage in the game, unless he's able to TP. But 33.
33
might be going down because of that, but no. The Helm Dom is already online for Lycan, so he's quite farmed all things considered.
But TB, top of the net worth by a significant margin, a good 1,000 gold ahead of anyone on the map. And we'll see him continue to accelerate. He found those stacks in the end, so it was Sumail with the ending stages of that Metamorph, taking the farm. He's level 8.5 already, with a good 1,000 gold ahead of the Meepo.
Yeah, I wasn't noticing if the Phoenix soaked levels or not, but either way, you're fine with that. He is your win condition. Phoenix is only level 3, so most likely did not.
I believe he's just taking over the mid lane and trying to get his XP there now.
That is another option. That's a good point. Something Terrorblade and Meepo will both do. So as you see the 2-4 positions respectively, enjoying their solo XP.
Yeah.
The triple Wraithband build from Meepo.
Blitz kind of highlighted the Timbersaw, how if he has a good game, he can kind of take over and just play aggressive, bully the enemy team. Obviously, that's not happening since he lanes in against the Batrider. What's his place in this game now that he's had this slow start?
I think it's just going to be to make sure Terrorblade doesn't take any towers. I think that's really his only... Like, he doesn't have any good lockdown this early on in the game. Rubik Left's pretty underwhelming. Wyvern Curse not online yet. So I think he's more of a counterplay hero. He's taking all the farm nobody else on his team wants to take. So sometimes space can be created by virtue of pressuring, right? And sometimes it can be created by virtue of allowing your teammates to farm very safely. And I think in this case it'll be the latter. Okay. I can't really imagine what he does. So if I'm an off-lane hero and I can't really imagine what I should do, I usually just say, okay, where does my team not want to be? Lycan and all these other summons, illusion carries, they never want to be in their own safe lane. Meepo's going to be jungling. So I think Timbersaw will be staying bottom as long as he thinks that is the case.
And I imagine he'll probably just be getting the team items, the auras that they need, rather than anything selfish.
I agree, yeah. When you have a Meepo, you almost always want all the auras you can possibly buy. We've been seeing a lot of Lycans actually skip the Helm Dom. I wouldn't be surprised if Timbersaw TPs to this. I think it's a pretty big mistake if he doesn't. Yeah. Just gives up the mid tower as of now.
Be the
they
one
have
to TP first.
Huh.
They fought it up. Rubik's here with the Fade Bolt, but tower already getting very low.
I think that could have been largely on the Timber side. I'm surprised he's just letting this happen. I don't mind necessarily that they didn't get the lane against the Terrorblade, but in the mid game, you do stop that. It's kind of like when they pick Timbersaw into Chen. You just show up to the lane that the Chen is pushing.
Plonk yourself down, and that hero can't really do much about you being there, I guess.
Yeah, at the end of the day, your game on Timbersaw here just doesn't matter as long as you're not feeding.
Juicy, juicy stacks.
Yeah,
now,
this is the dream. This reminds me of watching Miracle Terrorblade in the mid lane. Something we haven't seen in a while.
Perhaps not the dream as far as which Ancient spawned. The double Rock Golem plus Black Dragon, so the armor and the health combining to make your life a little bit more difficult. But yes, this is a dream TB game. He's even got the Iron Talon.
Yeah, I was going to say the Iron Talon's the perfect item here.
Yeah.
Now that they made it attack speed, it's way better on Illusion Heroes. It used to be plus damage, which did not work.
The fact that it can work on Ancients is fantastic for those kind of moments like we just saw. Toby getting dove at bottom, but here comes Shad TPing in. Boots of Travel on Seb, but he's being chased down by a Lycan.
I don't think he can TP out, so he's going to get chased. He has to just keep stacking up those stickies during the retreat. Actually, lasso Shad. Okay.
That's not how that one's meant to go, BSJ.
At least not according to Shad, I think.
Yeah, he's the aggressor there.
This was my concern with the Lycan lineup. Is it's not just that they don't like that Meepo isn't a space maker, but it's the fact that Lycan's only limitation is being able to actually hit you, and you just run away from him. And they don't have any stuns.
Yeah, I mean, Seb's movement speed with the Boots of Travel windlace, he is able to actually keep his distance. Yeah, we saw it there. That 427 move speed really making it difficult for Shad.
Oh, he accidentally TP'd on the creep from Seb, so Aramis is able to just Fade Bolt it. I hate that when a creep waves right next to the tower.
Yeah.
And you end up TPing on a creep instead of the tower that you almost certainly intended to. Helmdom, you got to be careful. With all the gold being removed from the game, Helmdom giving 200 gold still. Okay, he does dominate a new creep before it perishes, so good on him, denying that 200 gold.
Toby down bottom. He's at level 9 now, so in a better place with both supports backing up. It seems like Viking GG are trying to look to make a play here. They've got the Winter's Curse, but I mean, Sumail's nowhere near this fight. He's just self-farming in the top lane. He is level 12. Holy cow. You'd think his farming, like he's the Meepo or the Alchemist type hero with how well he's doing.
Yeah, he's the absolute be-all, end-all of this late game. I don't think their lineup naturally deals with Terrorblade at all. You don't have any, like, Pugna, Dagon building heroes. Earlier on in the group stage, we saw Charlie Terrorblade pretty much 1v5 in a game that looked really ugly, like they were down but almost the entire time. And it was because, I believe Na'Vi at the time had no burst damage. And that's what makes Terrorblade difficult to play. In this game, Viking GG just doesn't really have that. As we see, Seb kind of just has free reign of the map with these lassos he's getting to use off cooldown. Yep. Just finding all of these heroes that are farming. I think Viking is under the impression in the draft that they were going to be allowed to farm against OG. Kind of an odd
swap back. Aramis could be the next hero in trouble. Okay. The Maz Arena going to catch 3 as well. This is perfect from 33. We haven't seen much from him, but he shows up to the perfect fight. The swap being protected as well. No tail with the swap to pull him away.
Nice swap.
And Toby gets hit by the X stun. Should be going down with the Timber Chain out, though. He might be okay. There is a dive from Saxa, but he doesn't want to commit.
Tower is going to go down.
Yeah. By the way, Saxa maxing out Sunray, just a 1 point in Fire Spirits. This is a build we have not really seen.
I think it might be one of the main ways they kill Timbersaw. And maybe he is under the impression that Terrorblade's only option in these fights is to kind of just stand his ground. And so that's really good to do against heroes like Lycan Meepo. You're going to Sunray them all down. They can't kill Terrorblade without grouping up around him.
Yep.
I have to imagine that's his reasoning. Also helps push out waves, even though all of his abilities push out waves. 3K net worth lead already, 13 minutes in. OG looking on form. I think the only games that have looked bad for them is when Sumail has like an awkward laning stage and
they have to play like catch up kind of thing.
Yeah, and at this point that's just not happening, right? They gave him a good matchup mid. Maybe Viking GG was the one that gave the good matchup. Lasso's coming off cooldown again. Seb kind of just says, this is my territory, I do what I want with it. As there's 3 Radiant heroes here, and he just kills one.
Well, Sunray also effective when heroes being called Embrace. They're just standing still to set that one up. There's no real counterplay. Even with the ensnares on Seb, the Centaur is stunned. Can they actually go on the Bat Ride? He gets swapped back to safety.
Is he actually alive?
No Tail going to be the new target. And yes, Seb is very alive. In fact, he's got a lasso. He may be looking for the Toby kill here if you're not careful.
That's every Radiant hero. Meanwhile, Mars is farming bottom. Terrorblade's farming jungle. 100 gold off of Blink now has it.
He's almost got Butterfly. We're 15 minutes in this game, and he's just a talisman away.
Jesus.
Sumail is farmed out of his mind. 9,000 net worth. Holy crap.
Terrorblade is one of the highest, like, naturally scaling heroes in the game when it comes to farming. Like, if he's allowed to farm the map, his illusions hit for 60%, pretty much more than any other illusion hero in the game.
Yep.
And his agi gain is pretty insane as well. 4.8. So when left alone,
this happens.
Yeah.
What you're seeing. I don't think you can have much more of a dream TB game. You know, you get the kill in the lane, you have the stacks to fall back to, you crush your lane. But
they're going to smoke. Metamorphosis just came off cooldown.
They've taken the tier 1 mid already, so we'll see where they look to go. Mars hasn't gone for a fast blink, so 33 just all in on the initiation.
I'm not exactly sure, like, what objective on the map there is for them, other than just a straight-up kill. It appears they're going to just go for the kill.
They got the butt spear. The tower was a little bit too far, but
Today
they'll get the kill anyways.
Today is going to be a good day.
Toby.
Oh, the Metamorphosis illusion in the camp.
There
that was the value.
He left it there knowing the Timber Chain was going to happen.
Indeed. Covering all retreat paths.
A good sign of things to come. Start the day with some good old butt spears.
Dude, that's exactly how I'd envision my Sunday starting.
Sumail now finding the 15-minute neutral items, gets a growth bow, gets a pupil's gift. We'll see what he wants to hold on to. Back at mid, though, there's been an arena. Lycan trapped in it, gets that spear. 33 again with the egg on the outside. He's trapped inside. Shadow will wear off, so he will get away from the egg and run back to safety, luckily. But the egg stun does catch the Meepo. Unfortunately for 33, he's maybe a bit overcommitted here. The Sunray is healing him up. Is this going to be enough? It doesn't look like it. 33 is melting. And luckily for Viking, they find themselves a good team fight where they can say they actually came away with a W for once.
I actually think it's a really good application of that mechanic, all memes aside of the butt spearing, but when you're in the arena and you're against heroes that are really fast, usually good players play is to just run in circles around you so you can't spear them. And if you activate your bulwark, you can kind of just wait and hit them at any direction. You remove the turn rate, so there is pretty cool. It wasn't like effectively like a butt spear, but he effectively shot it out the side when he wanted to, which is a really great way to utilize that. So it's cool that even though he didn't bring down the Lycan and Viking GG did come out on top there, I just appreciate things that result in...
It's not just a meme, is what you're trying to explain. Because obviously it's something we laugh about, but it does have some very real application when you're against a hero like Lycan who's shapeshifted.
Yeah, exactly.
Here come OG though.
They're not done.
Seb, no lasso, but he's got he's got double damage. He's going to be like right-clicking some people here. Not sure that's normally the Bat Rush job. Another spear back. Toby gets caught. Into the tree he goes. Does have a Timber Chain away, and there's no follow-up stun available. Without the lasso, they didn't have the ability to bring down Toby. He's got that hood, so he's fairly tanky now. And they may look to punish here. Seb would be a great kill for them to pick up. The swap out does keep Seb alive, though. The spear going to be off the mark. Instead, it's No Tail who saved Seb and will...
He's sacrificed himself in a meaningful way a lot this game. On No Tail. I have to imagine it's super frustrating from Viking GG's perspective, as if they actually kill Seb here, that would be huge.
Oh, he's denying the helm creep. Oh, I like it. He made that... Seb went back in to try to get that plus 200 gold, and Lycan denied it to the neutrals. Really clever play from Shad.
I don't know. I'd say about 2 years ago when Lycan and Terrorblade were both popular, Terrorblade was considered the hard counter to Lycan. I'm not sure if the Lycan buffs to his damage output are significant enough since then, but I'm under the impression that as this game goes on, Lycan just does absolutely nothing to Terrorblade. As we see a Blink lasso.
Yep. Pull in Toby with the Metamorph damage. It's going to be close. Doesn't look like they've got this kill. Winter's Curse on the backlines. Unfortunately, that does not catch Sumail. Sumail needs a Sun Attack. He's got an easy one with the Meepo.
What?
Meepo just runs into that one, and Sumail says, thanks for the help.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Appreciate the full heal, sir. Ozzy also gets the Necro Book. Yep. 150 gold each. Butterfly, as you said, is already done super early. It makes sense against Meepo Lycan to rush a butterfly like this for all the people wondering, hey, I've never seen that before, I'm going to do that. Well, these heroes can't buy MKB because all of their summons as well as clones are the ones that are going to be missing no matter what. So it makes sense that the opponent happens to have 2 right-click cores that cannot buy MKB.
Whoa, Toby scouts out Roche with a Timber Chain on through, but he's now being speared back into the pit. They're ignoring him for now. No, Sumail's going to change target, start right-clicking away on him, but does switch back to Roshan. They're keeping vision of this. The Wyvern flying on in, but Sumail wants this Roche with the Sunray heal. He should have it. Wyvern's trying to steal it. Celery. He now just gets focused instead and brought down by Seb's magic damage. Sumail will claim the Aegis with ease as another spear back onto Toby. 33 doing a great job of just zoning them away from this Roche pit, and that Helm Creep will be claimed by Sumail. Another plus 200.
33 is my new favorite Mars player, that's for sure.
You're a fickle creature, BSJ. You know, I feel like every day you've got a new favorite Mars player. Latest Mars to use a butt spear.
Well, he uses it continuously, so you gotta gotta respect the commitment to the cause.
His ratio of butt to non-butt is solid.
Butt ratio is high. As OG, as you see in the odds, that is looking even rougher than it did at the start. I have to believe if I saw a Terrorblade with the net worth he has and the rest of the heroes with the net worth they have, I'd feel pretty similarly, maybe even more so in favor of OG.
Yeah, they're about to finish a BKB on Sumail. He's level 17. Everything turning up pretty damn good for him, as we'll see what the play is going to be.
I just really don't know. I think the only hope they have is by maybe cursing the Terrorblade inside of his own illusions, so he kills himself. But that also has to do with the butterfly, because you can miss yourself.
Yeah.
I just don't know how they eventually kill this Terrorblade when he gets BKB, which he has now, flying out.
Yeah, just got to imagine, Winter's Curse is going to be a big part. If you're not killing the TB with it, make sure you catch a teammate standing next to him, so TB, kills off Seb or somebody, but if you position around it. Also, one of the best mechanics and hero combos, I feel like, in Dota, Phoenix with Terrorblade and Phoenix with Ags. You refresh Metamorph. It's basically TP's ultimate, and there's a reason Ags Phoenix does not refresh ultimates, because it'd be broken.
This is very true. I forgot about that.
So here we go. Viking GG, one last hurrah perhaps. They catch Saxa to start the fight off. There's an egg used very early, but the Mazarin are going to protect it perfectly.
Ranged attacks can't get it.
Can they get it? Wyvern's inside the pit, but he doesn't manage to kill off the egg. The ranged attacks from the outside, unable to hit it. 4 dead. Viking GG, only a Meepo surviving, and he didn't even come to the fight. Perfect
so
reaction.
well played by 33, actually.
Yep. Got the egg off, the arena off immediately following the egg. It was only the Wyvern who was inside who was hitting it.
And he had to fly inside to hit it and then put himself out of position. That's just such an annoying part about Mars Arena is range attacks don't go through it. So even though they're all right there and Aramis knows he can hit this egg, it just doesn't matter anymore because it gets blocked by the arena, and suddenly Timbersaw's dying to the wall of the arena. They realize too late that they're forced to retreat.
Poor Notel, once again, sacrificing himself for the team. He copped a Winter's Curse, and TB kind of killed him off. While that replay was happening, OG, of course, with all of Viking GG dead, they took this Rex. That's a thing.
They have a Terrorblade. One team has a Lycan, one team has a Terrorblade. Whoever's ahead, whoever wins a fight, they're gonna take the base. So no surprise there, as nobody likes watching people kill buildings anyway. That's the boring part of Dota, am I right?
Oh, killing heroes. That's what it's all about.
I was thinking about killing creeps.
Oh, creeps.
It's all
Spoken like a You're an off-lane player now.
True,
You don't hit creeps.
I'm in A, though.
That's true. Yeah, I have to say. Positions 1 through 4, they're all hitting their creeps. And position 5 is just trying to play Pudge or something.
If there's one or two creeps left, position 5 will find it. As No-Tail walks to the high ground, looking to swap potentially.
Yep. Runs into
the lift onto the cliff?
Aramis? No,
he doesn't.
Notel has a swap potentially. Needs to be careful. He gets speared back, but the blink lasso onto Seb. He is next to some teammates while he gets cursed, but it's not the TB.
33 was disarmed.
And 33 goes in with the arena, pops the bulwark to push him a little bit further away with the God's Rebuke as well. 33 taking a lot of damage from this Meepo. Meepo still alive for now. The Cold Embrace helping him out. Boom. He saved himself the E-Blade now. Viking GG. They're still going to deal with Sumail, and he's going to sunder, unfortunately. It was a perfectly played team fight by them. I mean, the Meepo, one Meepo saved by Cold Embrace, another by an E-Blade. It still wasn't enough.
It's funny because I was thinking usually when you deal with these raid boss heroes, you want to just kill the rest of their team and then kill them. I was wondering if they could even kill Terrorblade with the rest of his team dead. And this answers my question.
Well, TB,
the answer is no, in case you guys were wondering.
The illusion. No. Oh, he goes down.
Oof.
And Sumail.
And he just TP'd out. Illusion Rune bottom too. He's just going Daedalus. At this point, he knows that the only play for Viking GG is to ignore him until last. So if that is the case, you just say, I'm going to do as much damage as possible while you try to ignore me.
Unignorable damage.
Unignorable damage. The brother of unhealable damage.
Yep.
As No-Tail continuing his sacrificial 5 position. Happens to be the lowest net worth in the entire game, even though they're up by 10,000 net worth, salving up his Terrorblade. Maybe that's with a shovel, though, so
That's true.
not quite as much credit being given there.
He's got clarity, too, for the Terrorblade, so I say that, but Sumail has a regen thanks to the Aegis expiring, so no longer is applicable. As we'll see Sumail look to claim this mid-tier 2 tower. So no Roshan for a couple of minutes. Bounty runes will be spawning. Likely we'll see OG fall back and just try and claim the majority of those. Or they just go through in high ground. They've got Metamorph, and Phoenix's Axe is online, so you've kind of got double Metamorph here, depending on how you want to use the egg. Often you may just want to try win a team fight off of it and not mess with the TB and allow him to still right-click during it. But that's a easy tier 3 tower. That bonus range coming into play from the Vengeful Spirit, allowing the TB just to sit back and wail away. The Lycan going in from the side is going to find 33. 33 in some trouble here, but he's got a Sunray heal and he just runs outside of his own arena to save himself. And the Winter's Curse coming in, but the egg's already been used. Lycan dying here. The Sunray from the egg. It's the Death Star just raining fire from above. And meanwhile, Sumail and the TB is just, well, you can't ignore this guy. He's going to take your base. This is a second lane of racks being claimed.
I'm learning on Mars against heroes like Wyvern and any taunts, it's really good to just use your Bulwark in the fight, because when he gets cursed with his teammates, he's not hitting them, because during Bulwark active, you're disarmed. So it's kind of interesting to see that Wyvern thinks he's getting this 3-man curse, and it's not actually doing anything.
How does the Bulwark work against the Winter's Curse, like your TB's ranged attacks? Would it reduce them? Any chance of that?
I'm not sure, actually.
That would be an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I can check that after the game.
Sumail charging forward. As we start to see the end of game 1, you've got to imagine Sumail still has a Sunder who's being chain stunned here. They'd love to kill him off before the Aegis. Oh no, Sumail, he gets the Sunder.
No.
And boom, well.
Not like this.
The Sunray onto the Cold Embrace. It should be able to bring down this Meepo. It does, and he's got no buyback. I don't see a way out of this game other than what Viking GG just did. They typed those last 2 letters of their name. They GG'd out, and OG have dominated game 1.
I think this game was a story of 2 hard farmers in the mid lane, both of which were the